the first week, Smoke was here, and we were sitting in kind of those breakfast chairs, and he looked at all the folks sitting in the rocking chairs, and he said, why the heck do they get the comfortable chairs? So you need to thank him or blame him. We turn it on there. One of the things that you said, we all back there, Jeff? One of the things that you said repeatedly since you joined the Sprint Cup Series with Lowe's as your sponsors, how many cool things you get to do with them and that they do for the fans. This is another one where they're doing the Lowe's Build and Grow program today. That's got to be pretty cool getting to interact with kids.
I'm a big kid at heart, so that's the start. And secondly, I became a fan of racing through my dad taking me to the racetrack and being around and being exposed to it. So I see myself in a lot of the kids' eyes. I look at my heroes that way, and I connect well with the kids, and so proud to be a father and have my daughter to interact with and show around now. So it's a great experience, very proud of Lowe's, and they're very focused on children as well. And our Build and Grow program travels to a lot of racetracks, and we have these little wooden cars that the kids are able to assemble. The sticker packs that go on, and we have some cars for the kids that they'll build. And I've also autographed the sticker packets that go on the windshield. So as you guys put your cars together, you'll have autographs for all that as well. So it's a fun program.
Well, you mentioned your daughter Jimmie. I think maybe last year when you were here, we were talking about having Harley and able to keep up with her around the yard. What's she into? What's she doing now that she's getting, what, 2.5 now?
Yeah, close to it. She's busy. We're having a lot of fun. There's a few moments where she's a little wound up, and you wonder how you're going to connect and parent in some levels, but I think that's part of the terrible twos or the twos, whatever it is. But it's been such a blast. Right now what's really funny is that her vocabulary is growing, and she'll use words that are somewhat correct in situations. So we had a lot of good laughs. And recently, she's around the racetrack a lot and picking up the racing lingo. Some of it I wish she wouldn't pick up. But she fell down the other day, and instead of saying that she fell down, she looked at me and said, "Daddy, I crashed." You did crash. So it's so cute.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Remind everybody that the Sprint Cup is here. If you do have a question for Jimmie Johnson, throw your hand up and we'll get to you. Question about this past weekend. Do you feel like you dodged a bullet this past weekend? You had a rocket ship, then had the problem, then came back to the finish line.
I do. I really feel that we dodged one, but at the same time, there's still some lingering disappointment on my behalf that put us in that situation. It's such a tough balance because we're down a lap because of the way the caution fell. We're up there leading the race, time to get going. I'm chasing down the 56, trying to catch him and get by him, and I lose the car and hit the wall. So I feel like we left some points on the table, and it's really my responsibility. Not crash the car, I did it. So, to have a wreck like that and to recover and have our guys fix the car, get it back on the road like they did, and have it be that competitive. There's a lot to be said about that, but still, I hope I don't get to Homestead or leave Homestead and need 3, 4, 5 points and think that, my issue at Kansas caused them.
Certainly battle back strong in the team did too. Our first question from over here.
Caleb has a question for you.
Hi, my name's Caleb. Why did you take the 48 car?
Great question. You weren't shy when the microphone showed up. Yeah, buddy. So when a new team is created, NASCAR allows the team to pick the number that goes with it. At the time, we had the 24, which was still in, well, we had the 25, is what I'm trying to say. So there was a thought to have the 23 for my car, and then the 24, and then the 25. And I didn't really think the 23 looked good on a race car. And I had a lot of success with the number 4 and the number 8 through my career growing up. And I started selling, 24 to 28 or 48, and it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And they liked it, and it worked out. So it was a bit of persuasion on my behalf to do the 48 and play.
Over here with the question.
Do you get scared when you run by the 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of get used to it in time, but it's always scary, especially when the car starts to fly. That's when it gets real scary.
No.
Hi, Jimmie. What is your most memorable or unusual experience with a NASCAR fan?
Just PG all the
Yeah. The one thing that gets me is the fans that are willing to be fans for life and have their autograph piece on their arm. And I just signed somebody's arm last week, and he's leaving straight from the book signing at the merchandise rig and going to the tattoo parlor to have it inked in. And I've had a few instances like that. There was a guy in Las Vegas that had my car on his chest. He had me sign above it, which was kind of above the collar line. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you really sure? And yeah. And then I came back the next year and I saw him again. He said, look, here it is. So that one gets me. I still appreciate it, but that's fun.
That's
you know, I'm
great.
really mad. They just stuck with that.
Yes, Clark on the puzzle said that he thought that Jake drivers should only be scored between themselves. In other words, if you were to finish 43rd, you would just be scored 12th. What's your feelings on this?
Depends if I'm leading the points or... So, it's tough to ask somebody to finish, but I think it's set up correctly. You know, if there are only 12 cars on the track, then I think that would make sense. But, you know, we need to keep things simple and not overcomplicate the system. So I really feel like it's right.
Okay.
We got a really good question right here.
Okay.
Is it scary going that fast?
It's not too bad going that fast, but when something goes wrong going that fast, that's when you get scared. And then how scared, really the length of time from your problem until the wall, that makes it worse. If there's a lot of distance between your problem and the wall, if there's a meter on being scared, it's pinned. If it's real fast, it's over, you don't have time to think about it.
Before we go to the next question, speaking of that, Jeff, can you cue up, look and see what's up here, see if you remember this?
Oh, God.
This one tends to scare me. I had a lot of time.
Back at Watkins Glen, where there has been a violent contact with the Turnbull Armco. That is Jimmie Johnson's Alltel Chevrolet, our third caution of the day. Take a look and see what happened. Well, down coming to turn one. Don't forget, he has just stopped. Watch this car move right here. Something breaks on that car. Here's the trap.
Have you heard of the wrong one?
With the Armco, watch. Jimmie climbs out of the car, and then, yeah, guys, I'm okay. And he's, well, that's amazing. He has not ever, speaks a lot of the integrity of the cockpit. You can see here, this is all pretty routine.
Breaks you out. That opens the wall. That's a lot of time to speak about hitting someone. And then when I'm airport, I saw the white, and I thought it was on the wall. I thought it was going. And luckily it was home.
Well, with your last week, we told him that we had his hood when he was upside down there. That's what took him to be in the hall. There's a lot of stuff of yours in the hall long before that, but
Actually, and that car in my warehouse.
we borrowed it.
All right, there it is. Well, I have the hood now. It's home.
It's on one of them. John protected it. John protected it. So that may be one of those situations that you have a lot of time to think about.
That was the worst. The only one that, and there's no video of it, in Mexico, I was racing the Baja 1000, and I'd been driving for 20-some hours, trying to get the sunrise to stay awake. And as I was going down the road, I nodded off, and I hit a big rock as I was going off the road, and the truck started flipping and like doing a gainer off into this valley. And I woke up basically hitting this rock, and it was a long time before I landed because I was going down this embankment. And that was the other frightening moment where I didn't know how far I was going to fall. You know, that time in between impact and then when the problem starts to the impact, the war stretches out.
When did you start racing?
Started racing motorcycles when I was 5, and then started racing off-road buggies at 15, and then when I got into the stock car.
Wow.
Now I'm real old, now I'm 37.
Oh
It's all downhill.
Oh my God.
We don't talk about old.
Jimmie, I think it's a pretty significant statement to say that you've had Lowe's for so long and been able to have a consistent sponsor. But as you see a lot of drivers having to switch between sponsors, sometimes numbers, you just saw PepsiCo dropping down their number of sponsorships for Hendrick. What do you think it's going to take? And I believe a lot of the integrity of NASCAR for sponsors is you have that branding opportunity. You're always associated with 48, you're always Lowe's, that's what people think when it comes to mind. What do you think it's going to take for NASCAR to get back to that and allow the sponsors to be on the car a lot longer than they are now?
You know, I think it's a big question. It's hard to really give, you know, a quick answer to. But the economy has so much to do with it. You know, when you look at a company in the way they spend money, in marketing is, you know, a segment that's off the side. And typically when times are tough, companies cut back on their marketing. And we are an extension of any corporation's marketing arm, if you will. So typically it's cut back, and I think that's why you see so many primary sponsorships on cars during the course of the year. We've been very lucky with Lowe's to stay on board, and we're ingrained so deeply with Lowe's and their overall marketing program that you know, we've been able to maintain that primary sponsorship for year after year. I hope it stays that way. They're an amazing company, great friends. So I have to also give a lot of credit to Rick. You know, Rick has been able to help Lowe's in so many other ways, doing business to business among other sponsors that are associated with Hendrick Motorsports. That it's not just a marketing thing. I mean, yes, it is the majority, but there's other business that takes place that, you know, Lowe's wants to be a part of and wants to be a part of Hendrick Motorsports.
All right, right down front here.
Hi, my name is Matthew Davey. Now, when you get in your car in the lineup, whatever position you start, when you get in your car and start racing, what goes through your mind? What are you thinking? What do you think you're going to do in the race? What goes through your mind? What moves are you going to change? What moves are you going to go the outside or the inside?
Well, the initial start, you know, there's so many unknowns. We practice usually on Saturday morning, and then there's a nationwide race, and that changes the grip level of the track a lot. So we have notes that we go through, and past history says that this track changes a lot, this one not so much. So you kind of form an opinion what you think the grip level is going to be, but you still aren't sure. So when we fire the engines and roll off, I usually just clear my mind, and I don't have any thoughts, because driver intros, the parade lap around the track, standing at the car, the national anthem, there's a lot going on, and your adrenaline really starts flowing. And for myself personally, I like to get in the car, get my belt on, my helmet, and just be calm for a minute. And then roll off, and then be realistic about the opening few laps. You know, if I push too hard, too concerned about leading a lap or racing with someone, you can crash out early and get no points and have big problems then. So when you get to the end of the race and you have some experience, you know, if the inside lane works, if the outside, your mentality is far different, and it's cutthroat. I mean, you know what aero position you need to put your car in so you have a grip, and then you know how to mess with the guys around you. You know, if you're behind someone, you can pack air under the guy in front of you, and hopefully get him to wiggle up out of the way. You can put your fender on somebody's quarter panel, and either, in most cases, pull them around the outside. So you start playing the aero game deep in the race. At the start of the race, though, it's really about just getting going and realizing that 500 miles or 3-4 hours before the day.
Of the cars that you own personally, what's been your favorite?
My everyday driver, I have a 49 step-side pickup truck that's fun to drive, and I really enjoy the older vehicles that I have because I just like to slow down. Everything else I do in life is so action-packed and busy. But I have a 68 Camaro with a ginormous engine in it. And that thing is a lot of fun to drive, although I'm afraid I'm going to hit it.
Yeah.
And then I have a 48 actually, an old Woody wagon. I think the top speed on that thing is 50 miles an hour fast. So all the stuff I have is pretty much an older vehicle, and just love to cruise around town. And some of them, the radio's coming over, you know, so it's nice just to be by myself, roll down the windows, and just chill out.
Got time for a couple more, one back here.
Hi, Jimmie, I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
I couldn't tell.
At that big race before, why did you find your door on a juicer's window?
Oh, in Talladega. Well, I crashed, and then I was on fire, and I pulled the fire bottle to put the fire out, and didn't really put the fire out, but I couldn't see anything where I was going. So I got the car to a stop, and hopped out, and Junior pulled up and spun around in front of me, and I saw his hand waving, like, come on, I'll give you a ride back. So, at that point, I didn't want to be rude, and I didn't. I didn't really have a concussion, either. So I climbed on the door, and we proceeded to go very fast down pit road, because I had to hold on tight. So I wouldn't recommend that to any kids to hang onto a car at speed. Probably a bad example of what to do. But I got to get right back to pit.
You know what it felt like after the NASCAR race.
Yeah, I made sure I
You can have a better grip than he did.
And then when he got in, his foot got stuck somewhere, so I was very delicate where I placed my foot. I wasn't stuck in there like he was.
Okay, time for one more question.
Hi, Jimmie, how are you?
Good.
I've got a question. It's concerning Talladega. With the accident that I'm sure smoke caused.
He even said it, so.
Okay. When the wreck was over, you wrecked, but you finished 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Your points still stayed the same. Junior finished 20. Because he ran up front partly all day that day, but he had to go because he, I guess he got a speeding ticket. He started kind of in the back, but then he came up front. But he finished 20. He dropped from 7 to 11. Can you explain it? Because the news media, I can't get head to tail from it. Of course.
Guys, don't take that personal.
Got me killed there. Well, I live in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and it is kind of bad. But the tail is, well, I'm not going to say that.
I'm not all that familiar with other. I know with our car what the situation was, but at the end of the day, when you finish, you get a point per position. So the fact that he fell in points, the other guys must have finished better. I'm not exactly clear, but I know there was some confusion at the end of the race as to why cars were scored in different areas. And NASCAR has a tough job because when the caution lights come on, they freeze the field to a certain degree. They freeze the field on the cars that aren't involved and that were actually racing, and they determine who is where. And then the next segment of cars are based on where, once the carnage happens, like who is the next group of cars rolling at a decent pace or cautious pace. And it goes all the way down to where the cars are physically parked on the track at the end when the dust settles. So it's confusing, and I know at times when the caution lights come on, we had it happen to us with Pocono. Kind of flat tires on turn 1. When the caution lights come on, I'm in like 4th, but I was scored 10th or something. But it was due to my pace that the cars behind me were at speed and on and on. I think I just confused you all, man. I'm sorry.
You crossed the start-finish line.
Talladega I did, but now I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, part of the confusion that I recall, and I've got a whole host of fact checkers over here, so you guys can tell me if I remember it correctly. You crossed the start-finish line, so that's where your position, and you crossed it ahead of Junior, so that's where you would have been ahead of him. But to your other point, there were more people between Dale Jr. and whoever was ahead of him that finished further up that didn't have a problem than were between you and Ray at this house. And I think that's the real difference of why there was only 3 positions difference between Jimmie and Dale Jr. There was a bigger gap, or there were more people who finished ahead of Dale Jr. who leapfrogged him, if you will.
Can I help you, Eddie?
Or did we both thoroughly confused? If you look at the story, there's about a half a dozen real media folks who can explain it, who are experts, so they can explain it to you. Okay, let's do one more quick one from our Boys and Girls Club, and then we got to wrap up.
This one's easier, I promise.
Will you have to get scared when you lean on the side?
Do you ever get scared when you crash or you're on your side?
Fortunately, I haven't been on my side in a cup car, or in a stock car. Now, the off-road trucker race, we flip a lot. We weren't going that fast, so it was kind of fun to flip. And like looking to your right there, that car, I wasn't the one. I didn't want to be in that one. That doesn't look like home. That had to hurt. So on the pavement, at the speeds we're traveling, it's pretty scary to flip one of these cars over.
Well, Jimmie, I know you got a lot going on. Thanks for coming out. Best of luck in the change for the six-pack. And also, remember that six-pack, we're not going to be putting on the contact.